up how Colombia in two specific cases outrageously disobeys the law and the courtrooms of civil court. And what is Mr. Roberts going to do about his Supreme Moot Court versus federal civil courts that are also moot, but less moot? Style meets substance, tell Kate Betts, and tell the everyday icon. King's speeches no power. And tell the future king and his about-to-be wife's celebration marriage. Versus this. Or this. But mostly, YouTube Planet, or YouTube Broadcast, is the way to beat broadcast news and print news. The people choose half the vote in the number of YouTube grassroots news they know better than New York Times, Wall Street Journal, Fox News. And of course, they choose by the other half, the three idol judges at Google. Larry Page, Eric Schmidt, Sergey Brin, two from Stanford and one from Berkeley versus MIT cssols 150 years celebration of me as the personal representative for Apple Inc. stands for at MIT cssols 150 years Computer Science Artificial Intelligence Laboratory celebrations to mid-April D.E. Shaw and his female Anton supercomputer chip. It says in Kate Betts' article about Everyday Icon that so at home was the whole debate about style and substance. Substance seems passe, an anachronism of the gender wars and false dichotomy enforced by narrow-minded men and women at war with themselves. And tell Mrs. Obama, the king, future king, and Prince William's speech versus Kate Middleton's dress that attracted him and she no longer wears it. The fact of the matter is that this substance of America's first democracy's King's speech of no power, that mob rule hates more than military power or past no ideas King's speeches, medieval ages, Europe, England, and around the world. At war with themselves is why they punish other people by ruining their movie experience at the movie theater. It's not, but the life experience, the real movie outside the movie. Robbing, stealing, killing, shooting people in the brain, and all kinds of things since the Congresswoman shot 2,100 people have done the same thing to other strangers or friends to ruin their movie experience or life experience. At war with themselves because they cannot improve their own experience, gather more knowledge, and be curious. And the fact of the matter is in denying my second rights of patients' rights at Roosevelt St. Luke's Hospital, teaching hospital rather than research university hospital that I try to set the standards for making it a better research university hospital and research hospital at Columbia University, the 5th ranking medical school in the nation by U.S. News and Report, that I have submitted to the foundation, Sly Fox teams, and to Obama by those two, the healthcare cost and healthcare report to the 4 foundations. And tell Bob Williams MacArthur, the Tron Legacy Prize, no genius will do this for free, and no genius prize of the past will be able to tell Steve Jobs for free about 2 special devices, iLabs, in April and May. Represent Steve Jobs, Apple Inc., MIT cssols in the future, where Apple excellence kept in check by watchdog me. Just like I do on USA Supreme Court, moot court issues that Roberts cannot see as Chief Justice, moot, and of course, the fact of the matter is that YouTube Planet brought to broadcast networks challenged America's Funniest Video will be able to bring America's Funniest Video and drive more network traffic, readers, viewers, publishers of YouTube for next year until IPO Mark Zuckerberg Facebook illustrated book content for children with no videos or pictures. And that's how YouTube can win, by winning the network traffic. And I asked investors who watch this YouTube and 150 academic and publishers and news group people to ask investors they might not go watchdog for Google and its increased time slices from my YouTube broadcast in iLab's Apple devices to less than 1 minute for 10 minutes of video at YouTube. And of course tell Steve Jobs that YouTube Planet goes YouTube News Network. Not only challenge American Video, funniest video on ABC TV by the people's vote and the 3 judges at Google's vote named above, but also 3 judges vote with the people's vote of grassroots news not only of interest to themselves but to other friends where they know more than the publishers and reporters and editors and the footbeat reporters on the White House, the Kremlin, and other world and national local news issues, driving all broadcast news out by grassroots YouTube news network support and broadcast published, chosen by two groups like American Idol, 3 judges, and the public's vote on a number of website hits at each one of those YouTube news broadcast pieces. This is what you should tell the public and investors. This is a better idea than Facebook. And of course, it might have been an heir versus Mark Zuckerberg or Palo Alto Mansion neighbor, Mr. Steve Jobs. Now, you tell MacArthur's by Steve Jobs that YTN versus CNN, YouTube network versus MTV for the young people can change everything, much more than iPhone 4, iPhone 5. And that's why Steve Jobs should work on a special device, a special delivery to Abe Lincoln Center stores in Manhattan of Apple. Take up, show the Shaw symbolism of personal representative of Apple Inc. and the home of Steve Jobs, Apple Inc. and himself. The store is as mentioned, like Starbucks would say. Of course, the King's speeches versus the everyday icon, Mr. Obama's recent national address on television just a couple of days ago. This is broadcast now on April 4th, so this is not an April Fool message. And of course, keeping in charge or watchdog over the future of Google shows Steve Jobs that we are better than Mr. Roberts, Supreme Court, Moot Court, Chief Justice, and of course, Chief of Technology Product Innovation, about to be CEO, Larry Page from Stanford, and of course, Eric Schmidt from Berkeley, CS PhD. Who else could better look over his store now as a watchdog and for watching his future CEO and executive board committees? And he should be telling Tron Legacy Prizes, MacArthur, Bob Gallucci, and the 3 foundations, Rockefeller, Carnegie, and Ford as well, tell Bob Gallucci no failing like COWE funders. And finally, Bonge's leader, that ship academic Jack Villaverde, and how gravity can suck up from whales through chest cavities of remaining liquid that pumps cannot pump out due to the stitches that acted as a vine and vehicle for bacteria to climb into the chest area outside the lung tissues to build up fluid and infections. And this is what I had to instruct Dr. Connery Cliff, Chief Lung Surgeon at Roosevelt Hospital, a teaching hospital where I try to not only discharge instructions about healthcare costs, healthcare plans, impediment to second opinions by Psycho Sykes, Ms. Curana, and instruction of Cliff Connery. But of course, Mr. Cliff Connery is Mr. YMCA, Mr. Roosevelt Hospital, Mr. Lee Bonjo, also Mr. Columbia, and of course, he has admitted to me that stitches could be a vehicle left over by Beekman, New York Downstate Hospital to have bacteria climb into the tissues through the outside chest tissue, skin. And of course, he finally admitted today on this discharge day, after a horrendous, exhausting 2 weeks of politics here on non-medical issues, that it was a learning experience for him. It's a learning experience for Obama Foundations, and it's a learning experience for Lee Bonjo that he would not say, but it's a trying experience, and he still thinks he wins. So do many dogs feel that their owners are their slaves feeding them? Yes. Thank you very much.